Hello everyone and welcome to another New World video. My name's Brian if you happen to be new around here, and today we're diving into the latest New World update 4.0.3. There's a couple of little bits of information right at the start that doesn't get into the true patch notes, so I will try to get this video chaptered for you guys so you can jump around to whatever section interests you the most. I'm also, based off of your feedback, going to try to imply more of my thoughts about the updates and how I hope that they will change things, obviously for the better. But in the long run of it, New World is known for having a couple of hits and a couple of misses, and with every patch you never truly know what you're going to get. And so we're going to explore that in today's video. If you guys enjoy New World content, be sure to like, sub, and maybe comment on the video below. Also, if you are a part of the bigger network, check out Ginger Prime for a video that should be rolling out pretty soon. There's a chance to win an Amazon gift card in that video, maybe even 2 chances. So hopefully you guys look forward to that state of the game video rolling on Ginger Prime sometime in the next 24, 36 hours. We'll see. Anyway, a long intro as usual. Greetings, adventurers. With New World Update 4.0.3, downtime is going to kick off tonight at 11 p.m. Pacific time, or tomorrow morning at 1 a.m. Central, January 23rd, and last approximately 1.5 hours. The Shadow of Roman tyranny has been abolished, putting an end to the legacy of Cresius. This update will include a variety of bug fixes, plus changes to the legendary fish, the seasonal narrative, and more. You can even enter a transmog contest for a chance to win Marks of Fortune. Check out the full release notes before another episode of the patch notes breakdown. So they've actually been posting their own patch notes breakdown, so that's excellent. If you guys want to go watch those, well, go subscribe to their channel. Otherwise, we'll get into mine. Winter Fashion Week contest. If you're on the Discord, you can enter to win Winter Fashion Week contest for a chance to win Marks of Fortune. First place will receive 20,000 marks, second 10,000, and third place 5,000 marks. Winners will be announced in our next weekly update article, so you will see for some kind of spotlight. Also, bonus community Q&A. Multiple servers have low pops, which makes it challenging to find players for content. Merges were initially planned but canceled due to community feedback, similar to how Indru's merge was canceled. Why cancel merges for a small portion of the population, especially without cross-server expeditions and arenas? Also, watching open world content like ECRs and events, and this was from Praciano333, and they say thank you so much for the feedback. We recognize that low population servers can present challenges in mitigating a strong company, achieving success in wars and invasions, and forming groups for expeditions, particularly during non-peak hours. To address this, we've implemented cross-world play features like Cross-World Outpost Rush in Season 2 and the upcoming Cross-World Expeditions, and this feature with the enhanced group finder to streamline player grouping, regardless of the time of day or overall population if you choose to game in the world. Regarding world merges, a new batch is in the planning stages. Looking forward to more details in the future. Our last set of merges occurred in late November. However, at the time, we were omitted some smaller mid-tier worlds based on substantial player feedback to enable newer players to experience endgame competitive modes in a more forgiving and accessible environment. Now, after the holiday break in December, our teams are back in full swing for 2024. Our latest checks signal that some of these worlds have outlived their initial goal, and we strive for seamless users' experiences. Mergers do involve substantial back-end work, including migration-sensitive character information, company roster and storage, and leaderboards rankings. As the game evolves to a more cross-world features are introduced, we anticipate the reduction for the need of mergers. And I'm going to jump in here on that. Yes. When they have cross-world stuff, let me just highlight that because that's that important. When they add in more cross-world stuff, people do want to gravitate to some smaller servers sometimes. Some people find a smaller server more intimate, and with more cross-world features, that takes away the punishment for playing on a smaller world. Now, I do think ultimately they're going to need to kind of do the same thing with the open world. It would be just so much nicer if I could just, hey, throw up a party group thing, and then you, what world you're on, are able to just jump in, join me, and all of a sudden you're guesting in my world and we're playing together. Less friction in getting players to play the game will be a good thing in the long run, and this will help dramatically with Lord of the Rings that they're working on. This technology they're working on is, this is like pass one, and we can get feedback in it, they can refine it, and then by the time Lord of the Rings is ready to launch, they're going to have all these problems solved, hopefully. Anyway, we hope that different sub-communities will do better accommodated on specific worlds without adversely affecting the availability or accessibility of certain game modes. Thank you for your continued support as we strive to improve our experience on Eternum. Please let us know which game modes you'd like to receive cross-world matchmaking next. Now, we know, I think that obviously the 3v3 arenas is there, but the trials, every piece of content, even the open world content, I think needs to support this mindset. But that does not mean it is not a simple just flip the switch, Brian. No, this is very complex work because you have game systems that are all balanced around kind of the server being a unique world that people live on. And when you start changing that, you got to start asking yourself tough questions. Can they use the economy? Can they not? Can they participate in wars? Can they not? Well, those are all legitimate questions. I don't have answers, but you can let me know how you feel about that. Now let's get into the patch notes themselves. General updates. They fixed a rare issue that prevented players from transferring characters between worlds. We will continue to investigate this issue and implement additional fixes as necessary. They fixed an issue that caused crashes when leaving and entering in expeditions. That's excellent. Nothing to add there. Seasons balanced the season narrative difficulty to help newer players experience the full story. They made it easier. Decrease the Dachi Sato's health by 30% and damage dealt by 60%. Ooh, big buff right there. Reduce the damage of health of Mordred and the Eternal Frost Soul by 25%. Reduce the damage of the Orphean Construct boss and the Winter Runeforge Soul Trial by 30% and its health by 60%. Massive health reduction. Reduce the Solo Trial Guardian's health and damage by 30%. They fixed an issue that caused the Ice Cold Killer task in the Journey tab, kill 150 players in PvP, to count more than one kill if other players assisted with the elimination. That's nice. I'm reading this like they're saying that assists count towards the killing of the player. So you're not necessarily the one who fully downed him, but ultimately we'll see if I'm interpreting it that correctly. For some combat changes, they added additional transition frames when canceling the Rain of Arrows bow ability to prevent an exploit. They fixed an issue that caused players to lose attributes from the Magnify perk upon entering the game mode or teleporting. We will continue to monitor the issue and make further updates if necessary. They fixed an issue preventing blocks from canceling heavy attack charges, and they fixed an issue that prevented element conversion gems on weapons with a PvE/PvP damage split from applying the damage equally. For the legendary fish, this was something I was very interested in. To set the groundwork for the cooking trade skill changes coming in next season, legendary fish will now require a higher luck stat to catch. So that's coming in now, and that's going to change the economy greatly. I'm going to be interested to see. You might want to go buy up a lot of legendary fish and take a gamble and see if prices go up if they're a lot harder to catch. For the world AI, fixed an issue that caused corrupted breach enemies to spawn underground. They fixed an issue that caused lasers to vanish when moved and still damaging players as if they were visible. For the perks, they fixed an issue that caused the winged shoes to always extend the duration of haste when equipped instead of upon the effect's activation. And for the world experience, they fixed an issue with Giannis that prevented players from proceeding to the Corpse Crone quest upon completion of the Curse of Dun quest. And if you guys did not see yesterday's Forge and Eternum regarding like MSQ blocks and issues, they keep troubleshooting and they need a lot more information. So be sure to keep that rocking and rolling and giving that information to them. They also fixed an issue that prevented players who abandoned the Season 1 quest Cannon and Coin partway through from completing it. Xander will now reappear for players who were previously stuck. The achievement state for the quest will also reset for those players. They fixed an issue with Rage of the Mammoth in the Guardian of the Gorgon quest that will now allow players to skip the Soul Trial sequences if either quest resets after completion. The number of PvP flag player allowed near influence towers and forts will be decreased to test performance improvements. We will continue to monitor performance and make additional changes if necessary. Now, when it comes to territory control and the influence war, I do think that they're missing out a key pillar here. That pillar is PvE players. Now, I think PvP should be the be-all, end-all for wars and territory controls. I do think, though, the PvE could add that extra little nudge in one direction or the other, or have a separate PvE level style of control. And if you guys want to know, Conquest from Final Fantasy XI did this. It was a weekly score that as you did stuff in the zone, you attributed points for your faction. And that could be, expeditions, that could be PvP, that could be these things, gathering and crafting and more. I think if they brought in a system like that, that would be something really, truly interesting, because it's that passive asynchronous multiplayer that kind of joins everybody together. And then you could give various different perks to the faction that also did that. Now, whether they want to combine them, do them separately, that's feedback that I'm going to keep giving the devs on this game, because while I think PvP is important, and I do feel like the devs haven't invested what they need to in PvP, I do understand to a certain degree, and I would love to see kind of a more PvX element to territory controls, but you guys can let me know what you think about that. Now, the final note here, they fixed an issue that caused Summer Medley Fair event quests to appear outside of the event. These quests will be removed, and players who'd held the summer event quests will no longer have a broken journal screen. And that is the update, and those are the notes, and those are my thoughts along the way. Hopefully you guys got something good out of it. I really do appreciate you being here, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. But until then, take care.